A meeting with your doctor without ever leaving home? That's the convenience of telemedicine. But federal investigators warn this rapidly growing industry is being used to exploit patients.
IT investigator Katie LeGrone first exposed the problem last year. Tonight she reveals how it's evolving and the surest way to protect yourself.
On a busy Main Street, federal investigators say the owners of this pharmacy in blue took part in an elaborate kickback scheme to bilk the government out of green. According to the civil complaint in 2014, Age Vital Pharmacy in Sarasota, described as a compounding research and wellness institute, received more than 37 grand in illegal Medicare reimbursements for filling bogus pain cream prescriptions for a patient who didn't need or want it. That patient blew the whistle.
We had nurses in the southeast part of the United States who were writing prescriptions for pain creams for patients who resided in the northeast part of the United States.
Age Vital's owners deny they knowingly did anything wrong. Prosecutors never criminally charged them. In a lengthy email to us, its owner blames a New Jersey clinic for calling patients to boost business, and the nurse who signed the scripts. As soon as Age Vital became aware, it ceased all relationships, she said.
The case against Age Vital ultimately resulted in a civil settlement. Its owners agreeing to pay at least $750,000 to resolve the allegations. But to healthcare investigators here in Florida, the case was one of the first to introduce them to what has become a rapidly exploding type of fraud.
It's called telemedicine fraud. Here's how it works. A medical supply company pitches Medicare patients medical supplies the patient doesn't need or want. The same company hires doctors who have no relationship with the patient but are willing to rubber stamp prescriptions for those supplies. Up to $150 per signature. Patients get the goods, taxpayers foot the bill. What used to be shipments of unwanted pain creams and gels have evolved.
This was just for the braces.
Last year, her 79-year-old mother-in-law received 3 boxes of body braces from 3 different companies.
Shoulder brace, calf braces, foot braces, back brace. I mean, it was insane.
I think I tried it on.
Another sent this Bradenton man a back brace.
I mean, they just wouldn't leave me alone. They just kept calling.
And she was shipped diabetes supplies.
I told the first person the same thing. I'm telling you, I don't want y'all supplies.
All of it not necessary, not wanted, and not for nothing, investigators say, but government money.
As we've seen more fraud here, we're not dealing with a question of medical necessity anymore. We're dealing with the absence of medicine completely.
The best way to protect yourself, don't reveal any medical history over the phone and report companies that call or send you unwanted medical products. We've detailed how on our website.
A nationwide bust just hours after an I-Team investigation, all new at 6. Only ABC Action News takes you inside the federal raids on businesses that authorities say have been costing us all. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Wendy Ryan.
And I'm Jamison Euler. This is exclusive video here showing federal agents raiding medical supply companies in Largo.
I-Team investigator Katie LeGrone first exposed the problem just last year, and tonight she's live with the operation you'll only see right here on ABC. Katie?
Wendy, about a half dozen medical supply companies operate out of this Largo office building this morning. Most of them became part of the investigation into a massive Medicare fraud scheme, one the feds call the largest in U.S. history.
At this office building in Largo, it all went down just before 9:30 this morning. Agents from the FBI, police, and the Department of Health and Human Services arrived to execute federal search warrants inside about a handful of businesses here.
Throughout the day, FBI agents have been going up and down, taking boxes and computers and various things from offices located on the 3rd and 5th floors that all seem to be related to the medical bracing industry.
One of them we visited a few weeks ago as part of our ongoing investigation into unwanted medical supplies. The feds call today's bust Operation Brace Yourself, a nationwide crackdown on a complex telemedicine scam that put unwanted and unneeded orthopedic braces in the hands of hundreds of thousands of Medicare patients, costing taxpayers nearly $1 billion.
The proceeds of the scheme were used to purchase exotic cars, yachts, and luxury real estate across the United States.
According to the Justice Department, call centers in the Philippines and Latin America would find the patients, while U.S. medical supply companies would ship patients unwanted braces, giving kickbacks to the doctors who signed bogus prescriptions for them.
It's almost $10,000.
During our own investigation, we heard from Medicare recipients who were shipped braces they never wanted.
I mean, they just wouldn't leave me alone. They just kept calling.
I told the first person the same thing. I'm telling you, I don't want y'all supplies.
Today's bust spanned 7 states and resulted in criminal charges against 24 people, including 3 doctors and 4 Florida men, while raids like this one in Largo aim to nab even more.
And a total of 80 search warrants were carried out around the country today, and we are told that more arrests are likely. I'm Katie Legrone in Largo. Back to you.
Millions in taxpayer dollars seized by the FBI in a conspiracy designed to exploit the elderly. I-Team investigator Katie Legrone uncovers a web of secrets surrounding dozens of Florida businesses set up by 2 people now under investigation by the feds.
You're watching exclusive video as federal agents quietly raid this Florida office building.
I looked up and the entire lobby is filled with FBI agents.
Part of a nationwide bust on Medicare fraud.
It was a shock.
By early afternoon, the feds confiscated boxes of evidence and computers from nearly a dozen companies inside, according to the leasing manager here.
I assumed it all to be on the up and up.
The leasing manager says a man approached him about 1.5 years ago looking for office space.
We showed him a couple of spaces and he's like, you know what, I'll take them all.
Companies moved in one by one, eventually taking up 9 offices on 2 floors.
What did he tell you about the business that he was in?
The way I was understanding it is like this company would provide back braces, this company would provide knee braces, this company would provide hip braces, whatever kind of brace you need, like that's what they would provide.
Now the feds are investigating. Documents reveal they've seized millions of dollars and froze assets tied to what they call a conspiracy to exploit the elderly and defraud taxpayers.
He said he was making a lot of money and he needed to put it someplace.
Weeks before the April raid, a viewer sent us a tip to check out one of the companies. With hidden cameras, we went in and found just one person answering phones, boxes piled high with braces in this patient fitting area. Yet the sole worker told us patients never come here. Everything is handled over the phone.
Wait till you see this.
Diane Bertrand showed us inside a box.
A knee brace, a wrist brace.
Her mom recently received.
Another
wrist brace, another knee brace.
All billed to Medicare.
And another one.
Taxpayers.
She didn't order this?
No.
She didn't want it?
No.
Does she need it?
No.
We tracked the box to this office tower in Holiday, Florida, where we found more than a dozen more medical supply companies that were also raided by the feds and started by the same players, according to the building's owner.
They've always been very professional.
State business records link Skylar Poppy and Kelly Wolf to at least 50 medical equipment companies on Florida's west coast, including the ones here, and this one that was just set up a stone's throw away from the county sheriff. To date, neither have been charged with any crimes. Property records show Wolf owns 2 waterfront homes in Clearwater, including this $1 million golf-front townhouse she bought last year.
Yeah, it's bad.
Brian Alberton is a former U.S. attorney in Florida who used to prosecute Medicare fraud cases.
If you don't really have patience, but yet it's made to appear as if patients, in fact, are coming, that itself would be a badge of fraud.
And while charges have not been filed in this matter, he says so many linked to the same 2 people is suspicious.
Just simply the sheer number of them kind of defies normal economic expectation.
We found Wolf and Poppy back at this complex where state records show Wolf also runs a medical supply billing office. Neither wanted to talk.
It seemed that their business model was to get the company started, get it up and running, sell it to another person.
State records show some of these medical supply companies changed hands before the raids, with new owners crossing both coasts of Florida and California, while the majority shut down after a visit from the feds.
I mean, look at this.
More medical suppliers are finding a home in the Sunshine State.
If she put all this on, she'd look like a robot.
Profits and taxpayers and victims at the mercy of who's behind the box of goods.
Somebody has to put a stop to it. It's just not fair. It really isn't.
I'm I-Team investigator Katie Legrone, taking action for you.